Hello and welcome to a new Voltlog. What you see behind me is an RC boat which was sent to me for free by Banggood.com for a review. I've recently decided to get back into the RC world with this RC boat, and I'm also planning a flying wing with an FPV system. So right about the same time Banggood asked me if I wanted to review any of their products, and I said yes. I was already planning to buy this boat, so they sent it to me. I also ordered a couple of spare parts because if you're going to be using this boat several times, it's almost certain something is going to break at some point and you will need replacements for the common parts like the rudder or the propeller, which usually you break when you hit something on the water. So as a start, let's take a look inside the box and see what we get for this RC boat. The cost of the boat is around $90 plus $25 in shipping. And before we get into the box, I wanted to show you something. It does have a flip function, so if you accidentally flip the boat while in the water, you can turn it back on the right side. And also inside the box we should get everything we need. We should get the 3S battery, the electronic speed controller, the remote control, the brushless motor, everything already assembled. So it should be just a matter of charging the battery and going into the water with the boat. This is how the boat comes. It's pretty nice packaging. It's well protected inside these styrofoam pieces. So I will just get it out and change the frame angle. So we can see the model number for this boat is FT012, and like I mentioned, we should get everything needed to run inside except for the AA batteries required for the remote control. I'm curious to see if we get this stand for the boat, because that could be quite useful for storing the boat. So let's take it out of this protection foam. And in here we have the battery charger. So let's see. This is a 15 volt 800 milliamp hour DC adapter, and this is a balancing charger. It will be interesting to take a look inside this in another video to see what kind of solution they chose for charging this 3S battery. Okay, and let's also look inside this package. So inside here we do get that plastic stand. I was kind of imagining this is going to be slightly bigger, but anyway, it will do the job. It looks like we get some grease, some accessories for working on the boat. We do get two spare propellers and two of these nose cones. This is for protecting the front of the boat, because it is most likely you will hit something with the front of the boat. And the actual remote control, which I believe, yeah, it's not labeled here, but I believe it works with 6 AA batteries. Let's check that in the manual. Yeah, so 6 AA batteries for the remote. I'm sure everybody wants to take a look inside, so let's start by removing this top cap. Oh, and it's a double cap construction. This top one doesn't look to have any O-ring, and it was held together by just a single clip. but this second one probably has an O-ring protecting from the water. Yeah, so on this second cap we have an O-ring that goes all the way around, so I think it's quite good protection against the water. We do get some desiccant bag inside. I'm not sure. Am I supposed to leave this thing inside or should I take it out? I'm pretty sure this will get soaked with humidity quite soon. So the battery was already installed inside the product. Is an 1800 mAh 3S battery. Too bad it doesn't have XT60 connectors. But hey, this will do the job just as fine. You have the servo right here, which is turning the rudder. This is the brushless motor, and as we can see, it has this very small water-cooled heatsink. So water gets sucked in through this nozzle on the back of the board, goes through this tube inside the boat, then goes through the heatsink on the motor. The exhaust on the heatsink goes through a second heatsink, which is the speed controller and probably the receiver for the remote control as well. Or do they have a separate yeah, I think they have a separate box for the receiver in here. So as you can see, this is ready assembled. It's got some grease inside. All you need to do is connect these two together, put some batteries in the remote, and you're good to go. So luckily I have this small lake in the backyard, so let's go there and test the boat on the water. This is how the inside of the boat looks like after a first run. There is some water inside, so you'll have to clean that after each run. And I believe this is all the grease from the transmission shaft that was splattered around the inside of the shell. But other than that, it looks fine. No damage to the propeller, even though I've hit some plants and sticks on the water, but it held up alright. So we're back at the lab after the first run of this RC boat. Obviously I was joking about the lake in my backyard, it's just close enough to where I live. I wouldn't say the water was optimal. There were some waves and reed plants on the side which bothered me, but it was still acceptable. Since this is my first RC boat, I've learned a few things like these boats are not completely waterproof, but that's okay. The components inside can survive a little water. I had like maybe 2 or 3 millimeters of water inside the hull of the boat after a full run. The battery is the only component that I'm worried about water getting inside, but it sits a bit raised inside the boat, so I don't think it will get too much water even if the water gets in, and it's also wrapped in the shrink wrap, so I think it will survive just fine a little bit of water. There is no warning when the battery drains, so you need to keep an eye on the thrust it puts out. In my case, I didn't notice any drop, but then it suddenly dropped in power and I barely managed to get it back to shore. The total play time, I think it was around 10 to 15 minutes. It's kind of hard to estimate since I took some breaks between each individual run, but you can always buy a second battery to extend that, and the 3S batteries are quite cheap these days. I didn't push it to its limits, I was playing safe for the first time, so the boat can certainly be very fast. It was kind of difficult to see where it goes when I maxed the throttle, so I need some time to get used to driving it at that speed. Most importantly, it was super fun time to play with this boat. It was the first time I tried an RC boat and I'm certainly enjoying this. I think it's pretty hard to break it unless you hit something solid like a big rock. Like I said, I got caught in the reed sticks twice and it didn't get any scratch. The prop and the prop shaft look like new, so I think they're going to survive just fine over time, if I don't have any major accidents. And even so, you can find accessible spare parts on Banggood if something breaks, and I will link those in the description below. Another thing I noticed is the boat rudder, which is offset to the right of the board, and I'm guessing that has something to do with the flip function, but I'm not entirely sure. Well, this has an effect on the boat steering, meaning it will steer faster and tighter to the left than it does to the right, but that's something you quickly get used to. I think that there was enough room to place the rudder on the middle of the boat, so I think there's a pretty good reason why they installed it like this, offset to the right. The boat is also very stable. Even with the waves you saw in the video, it did not capsize, not even after some sharp corners and max throttle. The only time it flipped was when I hit the reed plants on the shore. As we can see, all the grease from the transmission shaft has been splashed around the inside of the boat, so we will need to clean the boat and re-grease everything after each run. It didn't get any scratches, even though I was stuck in the reed plants 2 times. The paint survived just fine. Would I recommend buying this boat? It was certainly a lot of fun to see it glide over the water, and if you have a nearby lake, then I'm pretty sure you won't regret buying this because the fun time is guaranteed. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. Thank you for watching the video and I will see you next time.